Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Box Office Breakdown. Information and commentary on weekly movie box office.
Hello, and welcome to Box Office Breakdown on the Popcorn Talk Network. I'm your host, Sara Stretton, and we have a guest here today.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to us from Screen Junkies. We've had him before we did Jedi Alliance, Mr. Ken Knapsack. So happy to have you.
I'm so happy to come here to talk about Point Break.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today.
No, you're supposed to be my support. Last
in
week,
China.
What?
No, Point Break in China. Big numbers.
We're leaving
We'll
off
get to that.
China. That's not coming out until January.
We're not here to talk about that, huh?
We're here to talk about Star Wars, and we were all supposed to up in Star Wars fashion.
He's got Star Wars stuff. He's got.
And I just always get betrayed.
You have.
I have buns.
I mean, well, you beat everybody in it, so I don't even feel like dressing up because it's no competition.
How long did it take to get your buns like that?
Yeah.
I've been working on it
She's
for
been
some
doing a lot of
time.
squats.
I mean, they're tight.
They're tight buns.
Those buns are
Those
tight.
buns are tight.
They are.
Tight buns.
They are. So glad to be here, guys. So glad to be back in the
Tons
Popcorn
of
Talk
buns.
Network studios with you two, and especially you, darling.
Oh,
We had a
thank you.
great time hanging out at the AfterBuzz Winter Ball 2015 last night.
Yeah, you are an advocate of AfterBuzz and Popcorn Talk, unlike
Yeah.
my two co-hosts.
What makes you say that?
This
I
is
have
the
a
evil
teammate
empire
today.
over here.
Well,
I
you
have
play
a
it,
teammate today.
Yeah.
I'm normally like one against you two, so I'm just going to put as many insults out there
Stratton,
as I can.
I'm on the side of
in
you
the
and your buns.
holiday
Here we go.
spirit.
I can't keep showing up to places that become predictable.
Yeah.
They can find you.
Nice to know
Yeah.
nothing's changed
Yes.
with Dagnino.
Trying to think of a Star
much
Wars
stays
quote,
the
and I
same.
can't think of any.
Hashtag go sit.
Go
That's all you
sit.
need to
There you
know.
go.
There you go.
Yeah, so we are going to be spending a lot of time today talking about Star Wars, especially because this is our last show
Yes.
before the holiday hiatus.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're going to do a bunch of Jedi talk and whatnot, leave you with some predictions, and then head out for the holiday season.
And I got
But
gifts for you guys too.
I'm terrified.
Ho.
They're gonna be
I'm
amazing.
terrified.
Yeah.
I did not come prepared for gifts. Should I go over to the burger place across the street and get a pastrami burger for you?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know you were coming on till late either, so
Yeah.
yours is like kind of.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's gonna be all right.
Well, to also start off the show, we have to thank our wonderful fans for staying with us through the year, through all of our madness. They always put forth great guesses. We do have some winners this week. They're normally better than we are.
Yeah.
But this week, Thomas Zelenka won the guessing game for In the Heart of the Sea, but no one got 5 for 5.
Yeah, nobody saw
Probably
that coming.
mostly to blame. In
Well,
Heart
I
of the
won with 1 for 5. I mean, that's not good.
Sea. Just brag about
I
that.
mean, I'm not a want to, but I mean,
Well,
He went
a
5.
win's a
Wait,
win.
did he go 5 for 5?
what?
No,
That
nobody
Thomas?
No one.
Oh, nobody
No one
did.
did.
Oh,
No
sorry.
one.
I was thinking.
Does he? Did they do this the whole time? They don't even listen to the words
No,
coming out
I
of your
was
mouth?
thinking anyone
Never.
that last
okay.
name ends with a Z, I just consider a genius
Oh,
most
okay.
of the time. So I thought maybe they got 5 out of 5.
Like
Yeah.
pro wrestler Tom Zink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Zoltan, or whatever his
Zoltan,
name is.
yes.
The kicker.
What?
He was a punter for the Patriots. His name was Zoltan.
Hey, sir, when does the show start?
Never. We do this for a solid
It
half
started
an hour.
5 minutes
great.
before the camera started rolling.
No, we can't
I
get
missed the
in.
AfterBuzz thing. Were people like allowed in every room, or?
No, there was VIP bottle service in the studios at this party.
No way.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
This was our table.
Yeah.
Thanks for
absolutely.
the invite.
Oh,
You're
jeez.
welcome.
You're
welcome.
banned. But let's get into some of these numbers. Rounding out the top
Yeah, let's do
5
it.
was Krampus, which dropped 51% down to $10 million. Oh, $8 million. I can read today.
That got me the win.
That one. Krampus at number 5 got you the win. That's because everything was so close. Creed coming in at 10 million, 32% drop. Good Dinosaur also coming in at 10.5. Like they're neck and neck. In the Heart of Sea.
Yeah.
Painful.
11.
Painful.
Warner Brothers took it on the chin this year. Boy, oh boy.
So
Yeah.
11 million in the opening weekend, huh?
Bad.
Oh,
On an
Jesus.
$100 million budget.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
They're
Yeah.
hoping overseas can save it.
Here's the deal.
It won't.
Chris
Oh, are you already
Hemsworth-
going to get
Chris
into this?
Hemsworth is an extremely good-looking guy. He's just not a movie star. period. Unless he's swinging a hammer. That's it.
But again, are we in the age of the superstar directors and the superstar franchises and not the superstars themselves? Is this a case of that happening, Tom, where a name alone is not going to carry a movie?
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, it's a case of
it's
brand.
It's just not working anymore.
It's more about the brand. If you have a property that's already built in, most of the time that will give you success. Doesn't always happen. Pixels was not a big success.
Sure.
I think if someone else than Sandler was in that movie, maybe it would have been better. But Sandler just has such a bad reputation.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Ridiculous
It
Six
goes
later.
from like franchise, then the genre has a big pull, and then who you have in it sometimes doesn't help you. It just hurts you if you have someone you don't like in it.
So if this was like a first and a 3-part whale trilogy, we might have had something here.
It's a possibility.
You replace Jennifer Lawrence with Chris Hemsworth, you might have had something.
I also thought, as I said last week, people are just so geared up for Star Wars. They're like, let's just not see anything at all.
Saving time and money.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the only guy I know that sees 4 movies a weekend.
Yeah.
He pays
did-
for one of them,
It's
but
true.
I did not go this weekend. Like, I usually go every
See,
weekend.
and there's a case in point.
And this is why we've had
Yes.
one of the lowest box office weekends almost all year.
Yeah, that's gonna
For
change.
this weekend, it's
change.
like the lowest since 1998.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Horrible.
And number 1 was
The Hunger Games,
Games.
again,
Okay.
bringing in
Barely.
11.3.
Jesus.
Nothing a standout. Nothing bringing in that
top
much.
4 are like within $1 million or
I
less.
mean, look, next week, it's going to be off the charts.
It's
Yeah.
going to be,
But
Yeah.
getting back to Heart of the Sea, Warner Brothers, $100 million budget.
Yep.
You're looking at an $11 million opening. It's probably Star Wars comes out next week. This will drop to 5. This thing's going to do 27 in the theater. That's a massive tank.
And Star Wars is being accompanied by a couple of movies that do have built-in audiences. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Heart of the Sea is gone.
Sisters is going to be the definition of counter programming.
Yeah.
You know.
well,
So
the night
And-
before is still out there.
Alvin and Chipmunks.
yeah, it's not going to be any more.
But we'll get to the upcoming. For me, I love Ron Howard. I think he's a great director.
Sure.
I'm not quite sure where the studio was thinking. Like, they did Rush, which was critically a success, not a huge financial success. I just don't know how on paper they said, oh, let's bring Chris Hemsworth back, who just... He did Black Hat at the beginning of the year, which made like $5 million.
It was the first big bomb.
Like you were
of
saying,
2015.
unless he's story, he hasn't proven himself as a draw.
Yeah.
And then you're making a movie about... They tried so hard to make this look like a Jaws with a whale.
Right.
To like bring people in for the action. From what I heard from people who've seen it, that's like 10 minutes of the movie.
Sure.
But they're making the whale look like the bad guy too.
Yeah, well, that's
And nobody likes that.
Well, he's a pissed off whale.
Yeah, they're tough.
Did someone make that a quote for tonight's show? A meme, maybe? He's a pissed off whale.
Pissed off whale. But I just don't understand where, like, Warner Bros. Was thinking, oh, this is a guaranteed hit.
Well,
I think they were hoping for the Oscar push.
Kevin
stuff.
Sujihara has got
the
a lot
whale?
of explaining to do.
No,
the
for the
movie.
visuals. I mean, you look through and you go through movies. We did Space. We did Gravity. We did all these technical awards and people being visionary directors. And even now, when you're looking at all of the quote-unquote Westerns coming out, there is this scope to them. And I think In the Heart of the Sea probably pitched something along the lines of, well, this is this arena for film. If we can bring something new, if we can be outstanding in these categories, this might push our film to the next level. And that just hasn't carried through for them.
It's a tough weekend. Holiday parties, Christmas shopping.
Christmas shopping, yeah.
There, a lot of families are coming in town, a lot of flights. People just can't, it's just
Well,
not
this
there.
is why when early predictions for Star Wars, people are saying it might not do that good. I heard some people say it won't even crack 100 million the first
What?
weekend because
Who the
it's
hell
December.
said that?
But you remember back talking on Schmoes. A lot
Yeah.
of people, I'm not saying the Schmoes did that, but a lot of people saying December's not historically a great month for movies. Star Wars is clearly not going to be affected by that, but these movies clearly are.
Absolutely.
The record that Star Wars has to break for December isn't high. It's like $84 million opening.
Is that the
not-
pissed off whale sequel movie?
Not for the year, though. It's going up against Jurassic Park.
Oh, of course.
We're talking about December.
Yeah, which I'm...
We're talking about December.
But I'm more curious about the year. Do you think it'll beat Jurassic Park?
Well, I hope
Jurassic
it would
World?
be a
Jurassic
1993
World, sorry.
movie, yeah, but
I mean, it might not beat Jurassic Park in
Jurassic World, yeah.
in reviews, but I'm real curious because I feel like Jurassic Park, yes, I think kids are more inclined to run and see a giant dinosaur movie. then maybe they are Star Wars. Am I wrong to think that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely wrong. I think that dog on the couch would provide better analysis than that right
That's
now.
correct.
I mean, who knows? I do think it's going to make around $200 million.
Have you been in a Target in the toy aisle recently?
Yeah. They're really hitting it hard.
Have you been
Have you
awake?
been alive?
Yeah.
No.
I can't
Not
wait-
everything's a Patriots game,
I
you know
can't
that,
wait.
right?
I can't wait till we get to predictions for the actual bros.
Okay.
We'll save that for
That's
the end of
gonna
the
be
show.
We're going to
Yeah,
leave
it's
a
gonna be
large
really fun.
section to that. So let's
Yes.
move on to the international numbers, because we do that here. In the Heart of the Sea is looking for foreign audiences to rescue disastrous U.S. debut this weekend. Sadly, the whaling drama is not doing well overseas. The Warner Brothers film added only $12.6 million from 8,775 locations.
This guy's not a movie star.
So right now, this movie globally has $50 million.
Wow.
I would have went with somebody older than Hemsworth. You know, you look at like Master and Commander with Crow.
Yeah.
I think you would have had a little bit more money from that standpoint. I think he was too young. It's not his fan base. They're probably like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
I think the only saving grace for this movie could have been if it had some sort of outstanding technical reviews.
Or maybe if the whale was a little nicer?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or if there's like
Maybe it
an
had a
A-list.
happy whale. You know?
Or if you threw a bunch of Chinese people on the boat with him.
I don't know
we go.
what actor
That's
you could.
good cross
They
marketing.
like whaling.
Yeah.
What actor would you have thrown in there?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you could have thrown in an
Clooney?
actor to
Brad
spice
Pitt?
this up.
That's what I was thinking. Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt.
'Cause Chris Hemsworth kind of reminds
Even
me
Russell
of Brad
Crowe.
Pitt.
Even Russell Crowe.
Oh,
I
Crowe
still
might
don't
have
think
done
it would
it.
have done that well. I
Chris
just don't
Hemsworth
think
looks
it would
like
be much higher.
I mean, he just looks like a
He's too.
deckhand.
He's,
You know what I mean? He's not captain of a ship.
he's too pretty,
Yeah.
or just
He's too pretty.
you think a bloated crow right now would carry
Crow
that?
would do it.
How many of
Maybe
these
a Benicio del Toro.
people? Let's not offend the whale.
Yeah.
How many of these people making movies bank on the international box office now? Like say a Point Break.
Every
huge.
single one of them.
Every single
Yeah.
one. It's almost more important now than domestic.
Absolutely. They make movies for foreign.
Right,
They don't care
right,
about Americans anymore.
right.
But the film,
i.e.
In
Transformers
the
4.
Heart of the Sea did best in Korea, and that was only with $1.9
Well, they
million.
hate whales over there, don't they?
They do.
Is that a
I
fact?
think so.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a big whaling.
There's a big whaling industry, yeah.
Yeah. They love they
So
take
they're
the blubber
familiar
and
with this
make
world.
I just
Make fake
try not to
vaginas.
associate with any of the comments they say until I'm sure it's legally fine.
they take the blubber and they make
Yeah.
the fake the fake toys.
It's hard, like
sex toys.
like I said, you need a brand. I mean, they're selling this true story of Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Like kids aren't running out to see Moby Dick.
Inspiration.
Yeah, the
of the
inspiration.
Well,
story of
that's
Moby
true.
Dick.
Yeah.
That's true. Not a lot of kids in school probably worried about reading Moby Dick,
Yeah.
let
They
alone
don't-
the story of how they
story.
got the idea for the book.
Kids
Exactly.
in school don't even read books anymore.
Right.
I know people in honor classes that they're like, I'm like Moby Dick. They're like, what the fuck is that?
The only
I
way
have
I
no
would
idea.
the only way
There's
I've been
no cursing on
excited
this
for this
show.
movie
Sorry.
is if
Yeah,
like
I'm getting.
I would have cross promoted Expendables with this movie.
I would have threw
The
Stallone on a ship.
Expendables team goes on a ship and has to battle this whale.
That would
And there's the problem with
That
Hollywood.
is a movie I would
That's-
pay to see.
You probably would have got Go Picture with that.
Yeah.
I mean, can you picture that whale coming out and Terry Crews with that shotgun? Go, bah, 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 bah.
Oh.
It'd be amazing.
By the way, this is the fanfic he writes in his room.
Oh, they come up with a pitch about every week.
Yeah.
It normally comes more towards the end of
God
the
bless
show.
you for being with Statler and Waldorf over here the whole time.
You should have heard
Also
our
making the
Spike Lee one was great.
No,
sorry.
you don't need to hear any of that.
Chirac.
Yeah.
But
Guy's a
also
waste.
making the international box office was another Chinese
Yes.
film. This one's a Chinese comedy.
Boom.
Yes.
Surprise Journey to the West, earning $17 million. This has been constant for about the
can do
past
anything.
4 or 5 months, where we are getting a lot of Chinese
China,
films coming in and stealing.
Well, was
the
it
box
Anthony's
office
Journey to the
numbers.
West?
I was hoping it'd be called Surprise Journey to the West with Anthony.
Yeah, because he's the best.
That would have
They,
been
they had a whale in that one. China, they had too many whales with Anthony, and they don't want to see in Hard to See anymore.
No, but it's constantly changing. I mean, we see when it comes to U.S. releases in the
Yes.
international box office,
Uh-huh.
it stays pretty constant. Like we
Yep.
repeat week after week. It's normally big franchise movies, and it stays in the international charts for weeks. However, these Chinese movies that have been coming out are making over $10 million and changing constantly.
You know, like out of there real quick.
Yes.
Well, bootlegging is huge in China. So that first weekend,
invented
everyone
it.
sees it, and then boom, you buy on the street for a
They
couple yen.
invented it.
That's true. I bought a nice pair of Levi jeans from there.
Those are not
They
bad.
fit nicely.
The Levi's.
The third button isn't there, but it's all right.
And the Wanglers.
The Wanglers.
All right, Mockingjay Part 2.
Sarah, you bring class to an otherwise classless show. I want you to know that.
I just
all right?
look at
This is
the
the first
page
time I've
and
been
just
on the
keep
air with you
going.
on this show, and it's a treasure to watch you work. And these reprobates just keep giggling over Wang.
I just like to just look at the page and just keep going. Mockingjay Part 2 captured second place in the international box office. The final film of the popular franchise picked up $15.4 million. It's now in 92 foreign markets. So another movie past the $500,000
Let's hope this gets out of here.
mark. 564.
That's funny. Like,
million
I always think
last month.
you hear Hunger Games, you think $1 billion franchise, right? That's what you think, but it's not really that big. Like, I mean, this
It's
one's only
not-
making 500.
It's
People are sick of it.
not overtly well received either. And I'm a fan of the books. I'm a
Yes.
fan of Jennifer Lawrence. I'm a fan of a lot of the people in this movie. They're not bad, but it seems like they missed the mark, and they still make this much money. It just
Imagine if they were really good.
They should
How
have
much
one
more
movie.
they would make.
They should have had one movie.
or would it have? Would that? And I wonder that. I mean,
so.
look, the Hobbit movies. Peter Jackson comes out and says, "Oops, sorry."
Yeah.
And it still made $1 billion or whatever it did, and those are way less quality wise than the
But
original
it's-
trilogy. Your dog's peeing on my jacket, Tom.
The
So
thing
I don't know if it matters anymore.
Well, the Hobbit movies, even like a lot of people don't like the Hobbit movies compared to Lord of the Rings. I felt the money was on the screen. I felt like I saw like $1 billion large, fantasy
Cartoon?
film. I mean, I know you hate all the CGI.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of CGI, but I still
But
felt.
CGI is expensive.
Yeah, I still felt entertained, and I felt like I saw what a big budget Hollywood film. This last Mockingjay film, I don't know what the budget was, but definitely can't be as big as the Hobbit.
Yeah,
I haven't
the
seen it
number
yet.
speaks for itself. I mean, look, they could have broke this up in 3 pieces and people still watch it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
The general public's a bunch of idiots.
And generally, people.
By the way, we'd like to
saw
thank the
this-
general public for watching the show tonight. You guys are great.
If you're watching the show, you're not nothing general.
That's anybody
true.
who
That's
isn't
true.
watching.
That's
I've
true.
already stated is an imbecile. Who
The
doesn't
other
watch the show.
response to the final Hunger Games movie was though that people needed to end it.
Yes.
Like you needed to complete. It was only 4 to get through, and you divided the last book. There was just a need to not be left halfway through a final part.
And you can't really put all on them
It's
because
just
they are
necessary.
adapting a book. Like you read
Yeah.
the books. Were you satisfied with the third book?
Third book was my least favorite, but I loved
Exactly.
the ending.
And that
I'm
translates-
hearing people having problems with the ending. I haven't had a chance to see it yet because I'm just waiting for Star
Okay.
Wars. But
Gotcha.
literally on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
they picked me up outside. I've been in
Yeah.
a tent since the summer.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's ready.
But yeah. So you're right. They got some
Yeah.
source material that people. Again, that's what I say. I don't even know if it has to be good anymore.
That's true. And they've been.
We're
like,
making
talking-
Transformers. Yay!
And they've been actually. There's been whispers of them maybe doing prequels so you can still have more Hunger Games.
It won't happen.
But here's the
it
only
won't
thing.
happen.
I mean, I could see that.
It wouldn't be Jennifer
won't
Lawrence,
happen.
obviously.
Say that's what.
But no, it doesn't need to be because she knows. You do the games because it's been around for like 75
Yeah,
years.
75 years. Yeah.
But imagine somebody like a good writer just making original property and not being, handcuffed by what happens in the books. You can make a really good movie.
You know what's better than 1 billion? 2 billion.
Right.
Exactly.
There you go.
Right.
That's the
Well, it's
final
with
answer.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm sure it's going to be a good movie
that's
from a
right.
good book. But it's like the joke I made on Schmoes a while ago was, because they like money. Like that's
Yeah.
why we're doing
Well,
it. And I
listen.
get it. It's smart business.
It is.
Done deal.
All right, The Good Dinosaur took third place with 14.3 million, bringing worldwide haul to 167 million. Also, Spectre added 12.9, bringing it to 820. We also have a
Wow.
note here for Point Break.
Real quick, I want to ask Ken, because you're not a big fan of cartoon movies.
No.
What was the last cartoon feature film you saw in the theater?
Up.
Okay, that's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Did you have any interest in The Good Dinosaur? Even
No.
though it's Pixar.
Ken doesn't like dinosaurs.
Zero interest.
Hates dinosaurs.
Well, and just real quick, why don't you like animated films for the most
Wow,
part?
I could come on the show
No,
to be
I'm not
attacked.
attacking you. I think it's interesting
I've
because
never been I never
Okay.
find myself gravitating to those movies.
Same here.
I understand some of them are quality, but like Wall-E, get out of here with that movie.
I'm on
Get out
record.
of here with that movie.
I
It's
haven't
a
seen an animated movie
pretentious,
in
boring
20 years.
mess.
20 years?
I haven't seen an animated movie
Since
in
like
about 20
Fern
years.
Gully, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know.
Fern Gully's
America
great.
Five-O, America
Tale,
Tale.
yes.
That kind of stuff is
Okay.
good. Look, I'm not. The people who make them are great quality people. Incredibles is good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't gravitate. I'd rather see actors act.
I like to see real people as well. I don't want to
Wally's
see voiceover.
fantastic.
It doesn't make.
Well, he's-
I'm sorry. sorry. Does this end our friendship?
It's close. She's really angry.
You might need to scoot that way.
No, I kind of like rubbing up against you.
I don't know if I made her angry as much as you did right there.
I
I
apologize.
really like Wally.
But
A lot of people
Yeah,
do.
I
I'm
do.
probably the a-hole on the outside.
I like Wally
Since this
Backman.
jack
That's
off
about
comes
it.
here to attack me,
I'm
I'm
not
going to have
attacking.
to strike back here.
my point was because The Good Dinosaur is by far the worst grossing Pixar movie in a while, even ever maybe since Brave, and
It
Brave
was too much.
still did pretty good.
They had fire directors. It was a problem.
I just think like people, even I who love Pixar movies, was not like drawn in to go see this movie, and I was just it's showing in international numbers. I think,
That's
especially
right.
in the home box.
We just
office.
had a bunch of dinosaurs running around.
That's
don't need
I
another
thought
one.
Jurassic World, if anything, was going to help this movie. I thought dinosaurs were just going to be the craze for this whole year.
It's dinosaur overkill.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's what it is.
Might be.
All right, here's
It's not
your
very good
note
movie.
It's
about...
because it's not a ride yet, so you don't
Yeah.
want to see it.
That's true.
Give it another couple months. Also, note Point Break.
There we go.
Yeah, see?
I love that
The
movie.
remake of the 1991 cult favorite is getting a jump on its December 25th domestic release. So it's already opened overseas a little bit. The picture has earned $12.3 million
Wow, that's not bad.
in 8 Asian markets. So it's pushing its total all the way to 34.5.
Yeah, but that's because they market it over there as Star Wars.
Absolutely.
It changed the title a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, it's Star
Just
Wars.
put a starship somewhere in the poster.
That's it. That's all you do.
Yeah.
But it is doing particularly well in China. Made $10.2 million over there. That's
good.
And some of the backers include a Chinese company, DMG Entertainment.
Yeah, DMG. We work with them.
Now,
Congratulations.
They
here's
put a lot of money up.
This is good news for Point Break, because I know your company is
There's
working
good news
on
for
it.
Point Break.
Hey, I mean, if
Well,
you
the
wanna
good
be-
news is it's doing well in China, and China's not getting Star Wars, I think, until beginning of January.
Yes, they are.
So it has another week or two to make a little bit more money.
Okay.
And I'm really curious to see what it does
And,
domestically.
We'll talk about that in a
We'll
little
talk
bit.
about it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
that's all.
it's gonna be a tough one.
Now we have a little game to play.
No, I like
every
games.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is Tom's game.
Hit it.
Break out the Rosetta Stone, because it's time
JT.
for the international title game.
Every week.
Al esfuerzo y al heroísmo de una revolución no los queremos.
It's kind of like charades. You have no idea what he's doing.
That was better than Wally.
Yeah.
Today's little
Well,
act
well,
was me drawing animation, and then Ken Knapsack
Oh.
saying I want nothing to do with it.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
No.
I had something every week.
That's his last one of the year, unless he wants to do it on his own time on like Periscope or
Well,
something.
he does. He does it over at Tom's Burger across the street.
There you go. Yeah, he loves that person.
Only when they don't put mayo on my burger when I say that. Just go.
So this is obviously the foreign movie
Yes,
title
here
game
we go.
here, and
Which
we're
you
going.
have to explain.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I love
Sorry,
this game.
We
But this is the
have,
game that most offends my mother.
We have 4 titles. One of them is not true
Okay.
because it was made up by yours truly.
But we try and play this as a team, and we just try and beat him. So don't steal what I say.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
It's just 4 answers, and there's 4 people, including the engineer. We're going with Harrison Ford. You know him.
Yep. Yep.
You know that one.
Star of Witness.
You know that one.
He drives a Prius.
Hollywood Homicide.
He's a nice
Mosquito
guy.
Coast.
I saw him the other day. Hollywood Homicide.
Yes.
Heavy case
Okay.
regarding Henry.
Oh, so good. J.J. Abrams.
Accidental.
He wrote it.
Oh, thank you.
Accidental.
That's it? Just
That's
accidental?
the whole thing.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
The Devil's Own with him and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Deadly Commando.
Okay.
I don't know
Indiana
that one.
Jones and the Last Crusade. Jihad Odd. Jihad Odd.
I don't.
or
From where?
Jihad, whatever you call
Where are
it.
these, where are these
extremists.
all from?
These are all from the People's Republic of China.
The best.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can you repeat them one last time?
One
Yeah.
more time. Hollywood Homicide. The Harrison Ford.
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett
Yeah.
classic.
Classic. That's where
What
he
a-
first wore his earring
what a
on
dump.
the movie.
Heavy Case.
Yep.
Regarding Henry. Actually, a really good movie that we'll talk about later. Accidental. The Devil's Own. The Brad Pitt, Harrison Ford classic that if it was put out now would go straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Deadly Commando.
Right.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which I watched the other day. That does have like a lot of like extreme stuff going
I
on.
love that one. Allison
Jihad.
Duty. Yeah.
Odd.
I'm going to go Deadly Commando. I think
King
commando is not a
always
word that would.
always steals what I'm thinking.
Is that really? I think we just, we're very smart.
I'm gonna say that is correct. That's the one that is
Deadly
made
Commando?
up.
That's not how you play.
He wants to be right.
You need to spread out.
What's happening here? This dog's humping my leg. I don't know what's going on here. You're in Princess Leia buns? I thought I came here to talk Star Wars. Now I'm talking about jihad.
Get over here, come on.
You're supposed to spread out the vote.
Just another episode of Box Office Breakdown, everybody.
I want to be
Just
right.
another episode.
I want to be
I
right.
know. I think it's
Okay.
Commando. What are you going with?
The last one.
The last one?
Jihad.
All
It's a great name.
right, engineer. Where are you coming at?
Gotta go accidental.
Thank you.
Donica with
Trying to play the
accidental.
game.
Okay.
All right,
If we all lose and it's heavy.
hold on.
Somebody's right.
Is one of, all right, so eliminate one of us.
Buns, you're done.
Buns
is out.
done.
And you two are gone. Engineer.
Oh, man.
Regarding Henry.
Spreading out
That's
work.
no accident.
That was no accident.
Wow.
The accidental tourist.
Damn it.
It happens.
Good
It
job.
happens.
Donica in the booth. Good
Well
job.
Good,
done.
good work, guys.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Sarah.
To get started on our list of the week, this is probably going to be one of my favorite lists we've done.
Yeah, I'm changing up them because last week we did Ron Howard's comedies instead of his top 5 movies, and it went over really well because a lot of people watched Gung Ho after that,
Oh, Gung Ho. Such a good movie.
which is my favorite.
Michael Keaton, yeah.
Yeah, which is Ken's
All right, so
favorite.
what's today's list? Sarah?
Today's list is J.J. Abrams movies, but I think
Yes.
it's specifically written and directed.
Written and/or directed. Yes.
Andor? Is it Andor directed?
Yeah, Andor.
Okay.
Oh, Andor.
Not
okay.
Andor, like the where
Indoor?
those-
We're
those
going
names
indoor?
are from, yeah.
Andor.
When- I'd like to go to indoor. I came here to talk indoor.
That's actually
Here
the
we
prize
go,
at the
go.
end of the show.
I was
Okay.
gonna say.
All right.
All right, so we're going to start off this list with Joyride. Back from,
What?
Yes.
The Paul Walker movie?
Joyride, bringing in
must have wrote it.
$32
It was an Abrams
million.
Yeah.
He wrote it.
He wrote it.
apparently.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
listening. A lot of people forget he's been working in Hollywood for a long time.
He's a Hollywood kid, too.
Yes, definitely. I never saw this movie. I just remember the whole thing with like the thing in the trailer was somebody tied to a truck and basically being split apart. That was like the big
Yeah.
sell of the movie in the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge horror fan guy, so I go once in a while. Steve Zahn's in it. I think
Yeah.
is the other lead in it, and then there's a female. I can't remember who she was. now.
And Ted Levine from Buffalo Bill from Silence
Oh,
of the
really?
Lambs.
Is he like the psycho?
He's the voice of
Oh.
Rusty Nail.
I feel like you didn't give me an accurate list.
I always give you an accurate list.
I don't think this list is accurate.
It's not their top movies. It's just like that's the only thing he's done. He hasn't done more. There's like Star Trek, and that's it.
Yeah, why isn't that on here?
Because we don't do that. We don't do franchises.
Yes, we do.
No,
We
they're
just
boring to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about them anymore. We want to talk about this stuff.
This show's going to be great when it starts tonight.
he started manipulating my information because he's responsible for things, and it now just turns into whatever he wants to talk
You're a
about.
manipulator.
We
I'm
usually have
suspicious
one of a
because it says
franchise.
top 5 J.J. Abrams films, and it's got 9 through 5. So
Well, because I got rid of Star Trek.
You can't get rid of
Interesting.
Star Trek.
Nobody
you
wants
have
to talk
keep
about
at
Star
least
Trek. We
one.
only want to
keep-
talk about Star Wars.
this sounds like revisionist history going on over there.
All right,
All right, let's talk about next one.
Levine's
So
really
really,
scary.
we should rename this list Tom's J.J. Abrams movies.
I like that.
Pretty much.
I like that.
You're a big
Starting
fan of
with Joyride.
regarding Henry, which
And
is
then
next
going
one.
to
That's why
Regarding
we
Henry
want to talk about it. Because
at
Harrison Ford's
85
in it.
Oh, at $85 million. That's what you have to say about it.
Well, I mean, John Leguizamo received hate mail.
That's right, because he played the guy that shoots.
Yeah. And they're
Harrison
like
Ford.
legitimate death threats. Like, you killed Han Solo. You killed Indiana Jones. Who does that? Like, you
Lots
wouldn't
of
do that,
people.
Ken, would you?
No.
Was that you?
No.
This happens
You think, but no.
It happens all the time. It happens to the
Yeah.
kid who played Joffrey in Game of
People
Thrones.
were
Jack
just going
Gleason.
nuts.
Everyone was
Some
being
people,
evil
they-
to him.
they,
Draco Malfoy.
Well,
death
just
threats on the
now,
writers.
I got some emails about me not locking Wall-E. Some people are going to jump me outside in the parking
I
lot.
know.
One of them says S. Stretton.
Has everybody here seen Regarding Henry? I know
Yeah,
you've
it's been a
seen it.
while, but yeah.
Sarah?
No.
It's really good.
It is good. It's a great movie.
Just recently on Movie Fights.
Movie Fights. Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith was fighting for to be one of Harrison Ford's best performance.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree with him. He made a really good case. It's one of those movies I grew up kind of just. It's something you catch on HBO like on a Saturday or during a weekday.
Yeah.
I'm just like sucked into the movie, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen it in a long time though, and I really would like to revisit it.
And
especially after it
Abrams
cut-
appears in the movie too.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
As a delivery boy or something.
The next on this list is Cloverfield, bringing in $92 million adjusted.
Didn't like it.
Nope.
Didn't like it.
I'm
Didn't like it
convinced
either.
that this is the title of Cloverfield is because it's the exit that Bad
It is.
Robot's office is off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is.
That's right in Santa
only
Monica.
reason.
Yeah, that's just what they said. Yeah.
About
Yeah.
104
I
people
read-
are recorded leaving the theater for seizures and dizziness
Oh, yeah.
watching this movie.
I've heard of that. People
yeah.
getting
That
sick.
shaky camera bullshit doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it can be effective at times, but a whole movie.
The whole movie, it's just too much.
And look, when the trailers came out for that movie, I was geeked up for it. Me and
Yes.
my girlfriend at the time. I did have a girlfriend at
The
one
trailer,
point, Sarah.
that-
the trailer was great.
The Statue of
Yeah,
Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Great. No, there was no voice, no nothing.
And then it just the concept. I was taken out of the movie the moment you're like you didn't put down the camera when
Yes.
the world was ending.
Yeah.
I can't buy into your concept. Plus, I'm barfing.
Agreed.
Also, I hated the design of the monster. He just looked horrible. He looked like a reject for like Men in Black or something. Like some
Yeah.
weird alien. It didn't look menacing to me at all. Like Godzilla looks menacing.
They should have
That
choose Brian
scares the shit.
Thompson as the guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's still
From Cobra?
made
Yeah.
$92
Oh,
million. Then we have Forever Young on here, making an adjusted.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
112
Mel
million.
Gibson?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
J.J.
She's
Abrams sold
in
this
for it.
script for $2 million.
Elijah Wood.
That kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore.
Well, this
Doesn't.
is in
That's
90.
a lot of money.
It's made in 92, so we probably sold it in 89.
Remember when Shane Black sold a script for like
Yeah.
$4 million?
People were selling.
It was like a spec
That's
or
when
something,
Hollywood
yeah.
had money.
Yeah.
There was specs. I think to put it in perspective, I think spec scripts sold this year like 12 of them, and in like 1996 there was like 900.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, so to be a writer in Hollywood right now, if you're not writing like big, budget stuff, it's not easy.
It's not good.
So if
Write a
chicks
comic
write-
book first. Get the comic book
Right,
optioned as a
exactly.
movie, then write the novelization and get that
Exactly.
option. Get paid for the script.
Sarah,
Write a TV
Yeah.
pilot instead of a feature film.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie with Mel
Yes,
Gibson, Elijah
but a
Wood?
long
time ago.
But for you, that's like 2 years ago.
I love the basic plot is like he accidentally gets frozen as part of like a program in like the 50s or during
Yeah,
World War
yeah.
II, and then Elijah Wood happens to like stumble upon him because he's like an army brat kid.
Of course he does.
And like basically it's a love story from there. I can't remember who plays the girlfriend or that he left, but it's weird because he like
Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio.
He starts aging in like
You might be right.
yeah, you might be right. He starts aging in like what a couple weeks. Like he just starts getting really old.
Like
and,
Benjamin Button.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
gets, yeah.
Inspiration.
Good movie. Check it out.
The last one on our list today is Super 8, which I believe is actually the 5th on his grossing list. But today it's our number 1, bringing $131 million.
Some fuzzy math.
Not a huge fan.
I enjoy Super 8 more than other people, but the ending was rushed.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
my favorite. I
Totally
think
agree.
up to that point, I was on board. I think there
Great
was some
build-up.
stuff there. Yeah.
When the kids are trying to make a movie,
Yeah.
like I loved it.
Great stuff.
And I was like, if it was just about these kids trying to make a movie, I probably would have loved the movie. Second, I went sci-fi. It just went, and again, I hated the monster.
The monster,
It
yeah, it
looked
wasn't
horrible.
working.
It's like Cloverfield all over again.
And the train crash was one of those takes
Oh
me out of the
my
movie
God.
moments because it was too intense,
I need
too crazy.
some realism.
Some realism. Yeah. For the guy to survive,
Yeah.
spoiler, there's an alien in it. Yeah.
The train
it
was
took me out of it.
going everywhere. It was like Godzilla was playing hacky sack with it. It was
Yeah.
just like
You know what's interesting? It's
ridiculous.
Spielberg was on set a lot for this movie as well.
Yeah.
Of course, it looked. I mean,
Well, it was Abrams'
it
ode
was
to
a love
Spielberg.
letter.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams met Spielberg when Spielberg hired him to restore Spielberg's old home Super 8 movies.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how he met him.
Yep.
Spielberg hired him to restore the movies, and then
Interesting.
from there on, he started writing and
crazy.
making $2 million.
To be sure, he lies a lot.
Now he's directing Star
It
Wars.
happens. Yes, well, speaking of, that is why he was the inspiration of this list. Mr. Abrams is going on to directing Star Wars The Force
we go.
Awakens. It is opening this week. It is
Coming films.
Jesus.
the upcoming film.
Yep.
We'll talk about 2 more.
Should we start with the smaller ones and end it with Star Wars?
Is there a point?
I mean,
Is there a reason? How about we just rewatch some episodes of 30 Rock this weekend if you want to help Tina Fey out?
Let's-
All right?
We
how
should
about just
talk about...
real quickly, I think we
Sisters
just go
is
with the
horrible.
other
The
two.
trailer looks really bad.
No, it's got. First of all, it's gotten decent reviews actually.
Look, I trust the pedigree of the people making the
Yes,
movie, but
totally
I
agree.
do agree I didn't like the trailer, but I still would trust the people.
I'm right there with you. I'm a big fan of 30 Rock also, and the reviews have been good. This is like something after I seen Force Awakens like 3 times. I'm like, okay, I need to switch up before I watch it again.
Sure, I've got 5 tickets.
So like, I will definitely
you
see
could see it.
Sisters. I can't say that for the other film that's coming.
It's
out.
counter programming. It's gonna make some money. I got it at number 2.
What kid is gonna go want to see Alvin and Chipmunks instead of Star Wars?
Ugh.
Oh, there's probably
Instead
some.
of
There's probably some poor parent that's like,
Yeah.
please, no, Alvin, please. I'm sure this is going to happen somewhere.
I can't stand the
Alvin and the
Chipmunks.
Chipmunks is opening in 3,600
Yeah, wow.
theaters.
Surprised there's that many theaters left over.
Sisters is opening in over 2,900.
Okay.
So they do have a lot of
Yeah.
screens. This isn't going to compare to the over 4,000
No, Star Wars. No,
screens
Star
for
Wars is at
Star Wars.
3,900. It's at 3,900.
Nope, that was a false alarm.
Really?
I guess it's over 4,000. And you're talking about in the theaters plus multiple screens per theater.
Yeah.
Doesn't come close to how many screens it's actually on.
And a lot of
Yeah.
theaters are gonna be open 24/7, which I've never
24/7
seen before
lunacy.
until Star Wars.
It has
Yeah.
every IMAX screen for I believe the entire month.
Yeah. I mean, that's
so.
You know what the crazy
the
fact
24-hour day thing is crazy
That's
to me. Like, not
totally
even
new.
Young Guns 2 got that respect.
You
Did
know,
not.
Side Out didn't get it either.
Wally did. Wally did.
Well, he did. Yes, that's true.
Now, you know what the crazy thing is? When Harrison Ford broke his ankle,
Yeah.
falling on the Millennium Falcon, J.J. Abrams helped him and broke his back while doing it.
Yeah.
Are you
Crazy.
serious?
Yeah.
There's something about Abrams.
How did he break
They,
his
they
back?
downplayed
He's
that
like-
story.
They did, big time.
Yeah, I think Harrison might have died.
Yeah, he might have.
It's a robot built
Yeah.
by Disney.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? It's
It's the same skeleton of the Lincoln at the front of Disneyland.
Gotcha,
J.J.
yeah.
Abrams was like, "Oh my God, he just broke his ankle." He's probably like, "Somebody just break my back." real
Disney
quick
probably
so I
has
can
like
get
a clone machine
yeah.
where they just clone a
Let's just
human.
go over what we know.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go
Star
over
Here's
this.
Wars
what we know. It's going to
Force
make a lot of money.
Awakens. We know it's going to make a lot of money. We know we're dealing with a, I believe, $30 billion franchise when you take in the movies,
And
the DVDs,
merchandise?
the merchandise,
That's
the
insane.
printing. $30 billion about. Maybe 28.
Astronomical amounts of money.
Huge numbers. You have theaters doing doing the 24/7.
hours, yeah.
You have over 4,000 theaters signed up to play this movie, which you
Tickets
can
going for
estimate could
$1,000
be
on eBay.
anywhere near actually 10,000 screens. You don't know how many screens
Yes.
there have per
We're
theater.
going to have big
You have
security at this premieres
every-
tomorrow. People are going to be trying to sneak in.
Yes.
It's going to be a disaster
You
over
have
there.
every IMAX.
Hollywood
you
is
have
shut down like the Oscars.
supposedly between $50 and $60 million in pre-sales.
Yeah, last I heard it was around 50 million, but it's
So
probably
you think
gone up
it's,
since
so,
then.
so what are you about? 100 million this weekend?
No, shut up, no way.
It's somewhere in there.
I mean, this thing's review proof, critic proof.
Right.
Remember Phantom Menace? I remember this one.
I remember that movie.
Let's talk a little bit about when that movie came out. I was in high school. I skipped school one day to go see the movie.
Wow.
Because I already saw it during the weekend, and I loved it. That pod race, I just loved it. I loved the whole thing with Darth Maul at the end.
Sure.
I skipped school later that week to go see it again.
Okay.
I think it was the first time I ever really skipped school, like, legitimately.
I don't believe that.
No, I mean, I skipped school. That was like the beginning of my skipping of school.
Okay, that I believe.
And then
It started it all. Thanks, Star
it was
Wars.
during English class. What's the?
Well,
See, there
there's
you
proof
go.
right there.
It was during English class. What's wrong with that?
English.
It was during English class.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Oh, boy, no, who doesn't like a nice clash of English?
English class.
All right, so yeah, your point being,
This is my point being like, no matter what, this movie, people are gonna love it no matter what.
Absolutely.
I think, out of the gate.
I saw Phantom Menace 8 times in the theater. I'm going to
Yeah.
see Force Awakens. I got tickets for 5 showings already. I'm going to see it
Yep.
9 just to prove a point to myself.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, you're critic proof. You're absolutely right. The numbers. How can you even? The numbers you're throwing about screens. This doesn't count compared to. You can't compare this to any other movie ever. Even Young Guns 2 for its openings because just the numbers of screens is just going to skew the numbers to unimaginable proportions.
But talking about those numbers, because the reviews have been crazy. Anywhere from 200 million on
Yeah.
the low end
That's low.
Yeah.
to 300 million on the high end.
It might be a little high.
But looking at it, there
said a
is a
billion
cap
domestic.
on how many tickets can be sold.
That's
Not
true.
for 24
Yeah.
hours.
It
I
can
mean,
only be shown so many times. There are only so many seats to do. With pre-sales, is that going to scare away people from thinking they can't
I
get
don't know.
seats
No.
in these
No.
things?
There's not a person I know that doesn't have tickets.
yes.
That's a
Well,
good point.
I
We're
don't
in the
have
industry though. We are like in the.
A lot of my
to be.
friends aren't in the industry, though.
Okay,
I worked outside the industry for 17
though.
years.
A
and-
lot of our friends have tickets, and that's
Yeah.
still 50 and 60 million in pre-sale,
Yeah.
which means to catch up to or meet Jurassic World, that's another 150 million in tickets
Easy.
that need to be sold.
It's easy money.
Sarah's
But
coming at
I'm
us.
just looking at this because you look
Yeah.
at the highest box office weekends for the past couple of years.
Yep.
This weekend, this year, was Jurassic World's. It was
Fast
June
7.
12th. Jurassic
Destroyed.
World had 208. The next 4 movies, none breached over 15 million. That was the largest
15
weekend.
million.
So we had Jurassic
That
World
weekend,
Oh,
yeah.
that
at
weekend, okay.
208. Spy came in 15. San Andreas.
Yeah, nobody's
10.
gonna see anything.
Yes. But look, you have to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2014, because these are how many seats are there. This is
Yeah.
how much money can really be spent. You have 2014, the biggest weekend was May 23rd, it's Memorial Day weekend. X-Men was out, brought in 110.
Yeah.
Then you had other things like Godzilla Blended, but nothing too big. Blended opened.
Yeah.
2013,
Okay.
this was May 24th. Fast and the Furious opened 117. The Hangover Part 3,
Oh my God,
also
really?
a big audience, 50 million.
That's not-
Star Trek Into Darkness in its second week brought in 47 million.
Wow.
And then Epic, which was who directed
Cartoon movie?
the cartoon, but it had some big cartoon.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
42 million, and then Iron Man 3 came in. It was in its 4th week and brought in 25. That is a huge box office weekend
Yeah.
with a lot of counter programming and a lot going on.
So add that all up, those top 5, top 6?
Yeah,
that's what Star Wars is.
Absolutely.
if you from 2013, that weekend, which was just huge, number 6 on that list was The Great Gatsby.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
just had some
The movie, or did people just read the book in a theater?
Yeah,
You know.
here's what's going to happen.
Go ahead.
Star Wars, what it came out 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Almost 39, 40 years.
Sorry,
40-year-old guys are
Almost.
now 70. They're going to watch this.
Yeah.
30-year-old guys are now 60. They're going to watch it. So on and so forth. It hits every single quadrant. This movie is going to make about $260 million this weekend.
Opening weekend?
Yes.
Easily.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like some
I
people
think
are
it's
just
around
so
there.
scared that it's going to be so many
not
people
more.
going? I can see a lot of people just being like, let's wait till next weekend or next week because they're not
No,
worried
no,
about
no.
spoilers.
There's going to be people seeing this movie 7 times in 1 week. Okay,
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's just taking away
They-
people.
No.
There's people who are going to I want to see it more than you.
Yeah.
If it's really good, people are going to see it 20 times. If it's even semi-good, they'll probably see it 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask Ken a real quick question. I feel like maybe because of time.
feel like what?
I feel like the time we're in now, everything, social media and everything is just when the hype machine is at an all-time high.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Did it feel this palpable when the Phantom Menace was coming out?
No, because we didn't have as much access to it.
Yeah.
But we knew it was coming, but we knew it in a different way. We didn't. You couldn't be as spoiled. The biggest spoilers was the soundtrack had Qui-Gon Jinn's funeral song on there.
Yeah.
The figures, you kind of could have figured some stuff out. We weren't sure if we knew there was Queen Amidala. We knew there was Padme. They both looked like Natalie Portman. Oh, the figure kind of makes us think it's both. So you went into it a lot more blind, and you came out of it a lot more blind.
Was there as much excitement as for a new Star Wars film?
Only, I always say on all my Star Wars shows, which you can listen on iTunes, Force Center, that people forget Star Wars is huge. It was always huge, but there was a time when it wasn't as huge, where it was still rare, not rare to be a Star Wars fan, but in the late 80s and early 90s, it was a dark period of Star Wars fans. You were made fun of, and it was like that was that thing from the start, the space picture. So 99, it wasn't as much. It was big, it was giant, but it's not as much as it is now.
That's very similar
This
to what
is
it was
the age
like.
of geek.
And it's apexed.
Fin's talking about us. Being a Stallone fan in the early 2000s was a dark time
was a
for
dark
Stallone
time.
fans.
It's a dark
he
time.
wasn't doing
It
any
always
theatrical
goes to Stallone.
movies.
Yes, he
he was
wasn't
doing
doing
a lot of
theatricals.
straight to DVD.
He was painting a
It was
lot.
a dark time to be a Stallone fan,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
had his resurgence.
Not when
much
he-
like Star Wars is having a resurgence.
Well,
now.
listen,
Not when he
this-
directed Staying Alive. That wasn't the dark time.
That was a good one.
That was a good
Finola
one.
Hughes.
Here's what. Yes, true. Here's what it is. You got with the 3 prequels they did a couple of years ago. Whatever. I never even watched any one of them because I didn't care.
17 years
But now
ago,
I care
16 years
again
ago.
because I like Han Solo. I like
True, yes.
Luke Skywalker.
Oh, absolutely.
I like Chewbacca. Those are the people I grew up with.
Yeah.
Those are the characters that I grew up with. So everybody. That's why everybody's coming back in droves right now. They're picking the right time to do this, and that's why Lucas sold it for $4 billion, and they're going to make $4 billion on this one alone.
They're not going to lose any seats over not wanting to see it opening weekend or who's in it. There's nothing negative going on with what's created.
Sure.
The only deterrent from not seeing it is like, oh, well, I don't want to sit in the front row.
Yeah.
But here's also what I think. If Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Leia and Chewbacca weren't in this, I don't think it would be as much do as much money.
No.
And Lucas was still in charge, and people were dubious about the prequels.
Good point.
I would think there would be an interest. They'd be like,
Yeah, I mean, it'd still do big numbers. We'd be 100, 150.
Right.
It's going to be there. But yeah, they know the hype machine is intense. But you don't forget, again, throwing back the argument of we are in the industry, we're in the bubble.
Yeah.
There's people that they're still like, there's that Star Wars picture coming out. They got a new one. And they're going, and I go to movies on a Monday afternoon by myself. These people don't care about going around crowds. They want to experience it. So they're going to get a front row seat. They're not going to care.
There's also theaters popping up. Isn't there a theater in like Ohio that's solely made to be a Star Wars theater?
I would
Is
think
that a
Ken
rumor?
would
Sure,
know about
cool.
that.
I'm now moving to Ohio.
But you know what?
Somewhere.
There's an Alamo Draft House in Nebraska.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, weird force voice.
But there's another thing which put it in perspective. They had like 200 people on set when they were shooting Han Solo's and Chewbacca's first scene on the Millennium Falcon. And as they walked in, people were so scared. J.J. Abrams was like afraid to call action because the scene was so iconic of them just walking back onto the Millennium Falcon, and that's why it's going to make $260 million opening weekend.
We are going to put some predictions out there, but before we do that, we do have Ken here, and I have some questions.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit, because I want to know what this movie needs to have. Like, which components need to be in this for this to be a successful, what you want in a Star Wars movie.
Critical success. Because you could just throw some nerds in a lightsaber battle and they would make $260 million a weekend. You're right.
Yes,
I just did a show on it this weekend about it with Scrimshaw and Jennifer Landa, and we think it's got to tug properly on the heartstrings, but not enough to where it's complete pandering. It's got to advance the story in a realistic tone, and how they pay off what happens to our legends is very, very key. And is it just a nostalgia trip, or like I believe when Harrison Ford cries at Comic-Con at the Star Wars panel that they brought him back for the right reasons, and we as fans feel satisfied. The toughest part is what I call the problem with new, which is we've built up. I've been writing Episode 7 in my head since May of 1983.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I have some expectations that are pretty steep. We all are Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Prequels aside, which I defend now more than I attack, which is a whole complicated thing. They are bad movies, but they're part of the story. So I have a lot going in. If they mishandle how they do Skywalker, I might be like, I'll only see it 10 times. So that's what I see. The new characters and how they bring them in the story are fun, but we're already on board for those characters, I think. I love Kylo Ren already. I don't even know anything about him. Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma, as I say, is great because I love Gwendolyn Christie. That stuff's going to be a slam dunk. It's how they deal with the legends. And some of the stuff, like Wookiee fingers is a big problem with me. It's the first time I saw something, and I went, "Ooh, this has some cracks." Was Chewie has the clear raccoon fingers now? Right. Little weird things that might take us out of what we believe to be part of our Star Wars as old grumpy fans.
I got a question for Ken here.
The Patriots do cheat.
I love the first Star Wars film, and the way that movie ends,
my favorite one.
The way it ends, you didn't need a sequel. Like, just say Empire Return never happened.
It wasn't built to be.
It wasn't built. Like
they weren't
part
sure they
one
had
of
one.
3.
Yeah.
Do you think this movie will feel like a part 1 of a 3-part trilogy, or do you think it'll be more like the first Star Wars and actually kind of have a beginning, middle, and end?
That was actually my question too. So good.
You guys, they think alike here. That's good.
What do you want, or what do you expect?
It's got to have a little bit of both. It's got to have because we know we got 8 and 9 coming, and you're right. Back then they weren't sure. And Splinter of a Mind's Eye, the book was the cheap sequel that they might have made.
Lucas would have killed himself in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely right. He would have gone on one of his vacations and never come back. I think you're going to have, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have a big battle. I don't believe we've seen any part of the third act in any marketing yet. I think they've been very, very smart. They are marketing the first 2 acts of this film. Just think of it this way. We still have Luke Skywalker, coffee creamer to look forward to. We haven't seen him officially yet, so we don't know, but it's going to end with some kind of yay, some kind of ooh, darkness is coming.
I just don't want it to be like the Hobbit movies where it just feels like
I don't want anything to be like the Hobbit movies.
Ever.
What is going to be less CGI?
Those are the two, kind of the two hopes that I have for this movie. Like what I need for this to be have another. I'm going to love this movie probably no matter what.
I can tell by your hair.
As you know.
I think everybody's
But I really do want them to own, like, I want to see a movie. I want to see a good story in itself. We already know that this is a moneymaker. I don't want to feel more exploited, I guess. And my biggest, well, I am a huge Darth Vader fan. You know this.
Girls
and
like the bad boys.
Kylo Ren.
I am very dependent on the villains of Star Wars, and that is my biggest hope and concern for this movie. Is I need a bad guy that I respect and I fear, and if that doesn't happen, that will really hurt my opinion of this movie. I really hope the stormtroopers have
better aim in this one.
Yeah, you know what I'm excited.
I think they will.
Yeah, Kylo Ren, like, he is the big baddie, obviously, right? But he has these Knights of the he has these Knights of Ren. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Knights of Ren. Yeah,
and they hired the guys from the Raid.
Yeah, that's
I think
gonna
we're
be cool.
gonna see some shit we'd never seen.
Stuff's gonna go down.
Yeah, we're gonna see some stuff we've never seen before.
I think the fear is gonna be there in the action and the choreography and the look, but there's something to a villain that also I fear mentally, that has a plan, that has a history, that is evolved. That's been really important to me with the Star Wars whole. So I need that to be here now. I know it's going to look fantastic. I know it's going to have new amazing things, but there's a heart to stories that you need.
To answer to go back to the original question and tie in something you just brought, what I think, I asked this question to a lot of friends, is what are we going to do if this movie's bad? What are we going to do if this movie's great? And what are we going to do, most likely, that this movie is average? What we're hoping for is it not to be like The Hobbit, which is, remember all this stuff?
Terrible.
What we want it to be is, I watched Two Towers and Return of the King because they moved me emotionally. The scene of Aragorn, put aside the range and become who you were born to be, means something to me because it is epic. And the original trilogy had those moments. So it could be a critical success beyond the money if it hits those marks of this now moves us. It's about the old generation. That stuff with Han saying it was all true. That's some pretty powerful stuff already, because it's an old generation talking to a new generation, and that connects all the fans too.
The Chewie We're Home is huge.
Yeah.
So you're saying things like that. I think we'll see a lot of that, but I also think we'll see a lot of new, really cool stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I count on it. So typically we do our 1 through 5 predictions, but since we're not going to be here next week,
let's just take.
I think it's more important to just kind of talk about the one we've been talking about, which is Star Wars.
Make a prediction.
Let's throw out some numbers. We're going to talk about opening weekend domestic, because that's what most of our show relies on.
It's opening 4,000 theaters.
You know what we'll do? We'll do opening weekend and 10 days.
Oh,
that's tough.
That is tough.
How about we do opening week? Oh, no, that's tough.
Opening week in 10 days. That's what people do.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready to play with us?
Sure, you guys go first.
All right. Tom starts this.
I'm pretty confident that this thing could do about 260 to 265 opening weekend.
You have to pick a number. You have to pick a number.
I'll go with 260.
Opening weekend, 260.
That might even be a little low. 260. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go 10 days, $570 million. This movie is going to do $50 million a day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're going to see $50 million
a day.
You're going to see $50 million a day.
People have work.
So you have, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? That was just too much.
You're going to
260 and 500 and what?
Maybe 550, 560. You're going to see.
I'm going to put you down as 550.
Put you down to 550.
260.
That might even be low. That might even be low. Give me 580.
All right.
I'll take 580.
580. 260, 580.
260, 580.
Okay.
That's what I bench.
I'm going to say opening weekend. It's definitely going to be Jurassic World. I don't think it's going to get as high as 260.
You are fixated on this Jurassic World
I'm
thing.
just because it's the movie to beat. I'm just saying that's the movie you got to beat, and I think it will beat it. I think it will make $235 million.
Okay.
That's not terrible.
235.
It's not
Yeah.
terrible.
And 10 day? Oh man, I don't even know about 10 day.
Yeah.
10 day, let's go.
You can do 50 a day.
I don't think it's gonna much. I'm gonna say 400 million.
No way.
Do you understand
I'll
math?
say 425.
Okay, that's better.
I don't think it's doing 50 million a day, especially during the week.
It's gonna.
I don't disagree with that. The thing with me is that I'm not a regular box office expert, so you guys are, so I can say some crazy stuff because I host a Star Wars show. I'm going to say opening weekend, it's going to do 282.5.
Okay.
282.5,
Wow.
and then in the 6th day, it's gonna do 612 million.
Wow, you're
10 day, whatever, 612 million.
People are traveling for holidays. People have things to do. They're not.
I
gonna
know
be
people
able
have canceled Christmas to see this movie.
You're crazy.
This guy, for one.
Yeah, well.
Our house Santa Claus is joining us. All right.
Santa Claus Finstock here.
I made you pick a number because I am in a very similar ballpark as the 260 realm.
I want the lowest, huh?
I do think it can get there. I think it's probably gonna do I'm gonna do 268.
Jesus.
Ooh.
268.
So whoever's the closest, so if this is like 245, I
$8
win.
million coming from Ken.
268. But
just-
I am going
Is
to
my mic on?
drop.
Yeah, it's
I
on.
don't think it's going to hit because of the holidays, everything
Yeah.
coming up. I think you're going to get closer to about 475
I said 425.
in the 10 day.
What are you guys saying about the holidays? Would you, hey, Grandma, you want to sit around here and talk about the mashed potatoes, or you want to go see Star Wars
I'm just
again?
talking about the traveling. We do
Yes,
have
the
the
traveling,
last work
people are
week
shopping.
before. Like, people actually have to go to work next week
it's
and
fair.
not go see Star Wars.
I've seen this guy's job. He doesn't have to do much.
You know, getting all that stuff in, maybe pushing it off, waiting until actually
Yeah.
on Christmas until they're home to see this with the family. I think it just could push it a little longer. I have no fear of this being a $1 billion movie. It will be.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah,
It's
for
about
sure.
how quickly it gets there.
But
We will
you're
see.
saying $1 billion domestic, which
I've
is
said
insane.
billion domestic
He's only
to Harrison Ford, who in his
Yeah.
face I said he the billion.
What did he
domestic.
say to you?
He was like,
Get off my lawn.
he was
No,
like,
what did he say to you exactly?
he goes, we'll do 2, and I go 2 domestic. He goes, oh, domestic. He
You
goes, oh, I
guys,
don't know about that.
we
No,
are
he
going,
said no way.
We are going.
pretty much what he
we
said.
are going so over.
But
so
he don't
we
know, and now he
do-
knows.
Congratulations.
Okay.
We
I
are
got
going
gifts.
to take. Do you not want to take callers?
Oh yeah, we could do that, but I'll give a gift while people are
Okay,
calling.
we're gonna do callers and gifts because we're really great at multitasking, as we've proven.
See, I'm a nice guy here.
over
I didn't know
and
Ken
over
was
again.
coming, but now he's coming. And I'm sorry.
Caller,
Go ahead.
JTE, would you like
Thanks
to?
for calling Box Office Breakdown. Who do we got today?
Hi, it's Kristen.
Hey, what's up, Kristen?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you guys too.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you
Yeah.
soon. I'm coming down to Jersey with the Point Break guinea teas soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Kristen, how many times are you going to see Star Wars over the Christmas break?
I don't know. Like, there's so much coming out. Probably, I only need to say like probably once. Only because it's award season and everything is coming
Yeah,
out.
good
Like,
point.
You might want to rephrase that. Ken
Awards
Knapsack's here.
aren't important.
Yeah.
What the Revenant does doesn't matter for history.
Exactly.
You got it, Chris. You got to participate in history.
Yeah.
This is history. Do you have a prediction for us today, Kristen, or do you have a question or something to say?
I actually have both.
Okay.
Do I
Okay.
have
Nice.
time for both?
Yes. Go
Not the
ahead.
top 5, just Star Wars numbers on
All
the
we're-
weekend and the 10-day.
All we're asking is like how much is it going to make opening weekend and the 10 day?
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about 2, 3,
let's
4, and
see.
5.
Yeah, because
Okay,
nobody else
let
will.
me give my top 5 in person, and I'll just say the numbers. Okay, so number 1, Star Wars, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Sisters. Number 3, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, The Hunger Games. And number 5,
Creed.
Yeah, Creed.
this is a hard one. Oh my goodness. I'll just say The Good Dinosaur.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
that's
I would
good.
put Creed in there with
Yeah,
you.
it's been beating it out. How much do you think Star Wars is going to make opening weekend?
I feel like it's gonna make some imaginary number we have never heard of before. Or something.
Pi cubed.
Yeah.
All right. And you said you had a question for us real quick.
Okay, so since the Golden Globe nominations came out, I know we're talking about like Star Wars and everything, but I was wondering what you guys thought of the Golden Globe nominations.
I'm glad Stallone got nominated.
Absolutely, we called it.
Yeah, we did call it. It was weird. The Golden Globes are always kind of like they're not taken too seriously, which I hate to
not
say.
when The
'cause
Martian
Stallone-
is nominated for Best Comedy.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
you know, it's same thing. Like The Big Short, the Spotlight. I watched Spotlight the other day. It's good. It's it's just not. It's not fantastic. I don't know. I think The Revenant's going to win, in my opinion. I think it's the best movie out
Have
this
you seen
year.
The Revenant?
Yeah.
Have you seen The Revenant?
Have you seen it?
I saw a little bit of it.
Did you see
I've
it?
seen it.
It's going to win. What's going to beat it? The Big Short?
I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
Spotlight?
I'm not going to say anything.
I put a little more stock in the Academy
it's a hype
Awards and some of the critic circles, but as far as Golden Globes, they're what I expected for the most part.
Spy is nominated. Spy is nominated for Best Comedy Musical.
It's like this
I
is.
just watched Spy. It was okay, but
Yeah, but it's not. It should be nominated for Best Picture.
The Golden Globes are slipping below the Teen Choice Awards. That's
at
the
this
thing
point.
to.
MTV Movie Awards
All
almost.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Kristen. We
Kristen.
have time for, I think, one more caller if the box will let us. And
Yeah, and I got gifts.
We'll do some
gosh.
gifts. I'm
we
excited.
have one more caller.
B. Boss Turner.
Thanks for calling Box Office Breakdown. Who do you got today?
Hey, it's Robert Burke from San Diego.
Hey, San Diego. What's up, man?
What's up, Robert Burke?
What's going on, buddy? You got a question
Yeah,
today,
hey.
or you got a prediction?
Can I see them both really quickly?
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
All right, so for Star Wars opening weekend, it's going to be, I'm calling 295 million. 295 million. I'm going
like
I mean,
really
okay.
high.
Do you,
I like this kid. He's got some bold predictions about my favorite
Imagine
movie.
if it hit 300
You can't
million.
call it your favorite movie yet.
Stop talking, Sarah.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got,
It's
that's a
Probably
good.
going to get 90 million from me because I've been reading Star Wars novels. I
How
have a
rich
ton
are
of
you,
Star
man?
Wars pop
There
culture.
you go.
Robert, what's your
Oh,
favorite? What's your favorite of the new canon Star Wars novels?
I love Lords of the Sith.
Lords of the Sith.
I
Paul
agree.
S.
It's
Kemp
a good one.
wrote that book. Have you read Lost Stars yet, Robert?
I just finished Lost Stars, and I think Nash Windwriter
Yeah.
could be Kylo Ren because
Could be.
You know, he's talking about a new empire.
Could
and
be.
how like all these things. I think that definitely could be a possibility.
Lost Stars by Claudia Grace. My
kid knows his
favorite
stuff.
of all the new canon, including the
This kid
TV
knows
shows
his
and
stuff.
comics.
He might know. 295 might be it.
Test it.
Okay,
be
Robert,
amazing.
what
Yeah.
do you think I got Sarah for a gift?
I don't think that's what he's calling to talk about.
It is now.
I have no idea.
Okay, cool.
Me neither.
She doesn't either.
Do you have a question, Robert?
Yeah, my quick question. Well, and then 10 day I'm going 750 million. I'm just
Okay.
Love this
I'm probably
kid.
Man.
going. I'm
Jeez.
probably
Yeah, I
Love
mean,
it.
look,
Love
the
it.
hype train is there. That
Not
happens. I
everyone
love it.
is a millionaire.
Hey, Robert, how old are you? 13, 15?
I am 12.
Okay, cool. See, that's what
And
I'm
also,
saying.
by the way, I just wanted to say this. I loved Creed as well.
Oh,
Yes.
good, man.
Now
Good.
you're
That's-
my favorite caller.
I will
Yeah.
say this though, Robert. Since you're 12 years old, nothing Tom Dagnino says is right about life. All right, you can do
yeah.
better.
I mean,
Don't
sometimes.
listen to
All right, sounds good. And
Don't-
my quick question is, do you think that Star Wars could get Oscar nods? Do you think that
good
it is
question.
a big enough movie that it could get like giant Oscar nods, or do you think that it'll just stay with the giant, you know,
Maybe
box
maybe
office?
visual effects.
Yes.
Visual effects stuff,
Yes.
Yes.
Sound,
Visual effects.
Soundtrack.
sound, editing,
Yeah.
costume
Editing.
design,
Listen, if
catering.
if Avatar could get nominated for Best Picture for making that much money, because I don't know any other reason why that movie won Best Picture besides the fact it was the #1 movie.
Yep.
I think Star Wars has a chance to definitely get nominated.
Star
for
Wars
Best
is
And
a
look at
chance.
this year.
Yeah.
Look at this
It's-
year.
Yeah, it's kinda weak.
The year is
But
very
you know,
weak.
look at when Return of the King won, though. I think that
Yeah.
was them telling Peter Jackson,
Good
"Thanks
job.
for the last 3 movies."
Yeah, thank
yes,
you.
totally agree.
Absolutely.
But I just, again, Avatar, if that could be nominated, especially with this whole 8 to 10 kind of thing they're doing.
Yes,
Sure.
and
For
I
sure.
hope so.
I think that for actors, it's too much of an ensemble.
Yeah.
You won't
Yeah.
see anything there.
Yeah.
Unless Chewbacca, Chewbacca's
Who
great.
knows? Hey, maybe Ford
All
could
right.
give a really touching
Thank
performance.
you for calling so
Thanks, Robert.
much.
Thanks,
All
Robert.
right.
You're the best.
We have about
Yeah, great call, Robert.
2 seconds to do.
We got a
Who's
gift
this for?
giving. This is for Ken.
It's wrapped in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
So
I saw this in
telling.
the trash on the way in.
Yeah. Those are my the dog's bags.
It's a movie.
Oh, the Chernobyl Diaries.
Oh, man.
Experience of Fallout. Well, you know this. My name Nabzuk is actually Nabzuk. It's Circassian, but my grandmother's maiden name is Olmenchenko, and she's Ukrainian. Her sister lives in Chernobyl.
Hey, shoot
Many
it.
of her family died, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, shoot
really
it.
kind of watching it.
Send it over to her.
Yeah, this would be great. It's like a family memory
remember?
history book. Yeah, that's great.
It's on
This is
Blu-ray.
awesome. On Blu-ray too. It's got special features.
Well done.
How to package food and send it to your relatives when they were dying in a nuclear tragedy. That's great.
So it's got a bear in that that one too. It's the same bear in that one that's using the Revenant.
Is this for me?
Yeah, it's
Includes the alternate ending where everyone lived.
That's a good one.
Great.
All right, this is
great
great. I'm curious to see what this is. It feels like
Go with the small thing first.
Go with the small thing first. Okay. Yes.
It's a pack
Look
of
at this
Rocky
pack
2 cards.
of Rocky cards. That is amazing. Vintage right there.
Here, do you want me to pull it up?
Put that up there. That's awesome.
Wow. Wow.
Do you
I
see
might not
that?
take that out of the packaging.
Yeah.
It'll be really hard for me not to, though. I'm going to have to.
Finstock's a gift giver.
That's amazing.
More ways than
That is
one.
amazing. All right, and now I got one more thing here. I don't know what this is.
The do-rag.
Oh, wait a minute. What do we have here? Oh, no. Look at this. Yes.
Oh,
This is a great
wow.
shirt.
Yep.
Holy
If
crap.
it doesn't fit, you give it to Sarah.
If you
That
don't
is
want
amazing.
that, I'll
I will
take
make that fit.
Okay.
It's tight.
I will lose weight just to wear it.
Oh, voila.
Wait. Is
This is why
this
we
a tank top?
This
Is
is
this
why we play basketball in.
A
This
shirt?
is a
That's what I
basketball
said, it's a
shirt.
Can you just
basketball
look
shirt.
at how small the armholes are?
Are they small? Oh, they are kind of small. Hey, listen, I will get in Stallone shape just to wear this.
Absolutely.
I don't think Stallone can
That
fit in
is
that
amazing.
either.
Tiny
If not,
armholes.
I will make it into a poster on my wall.
Or just like when chicks sleep over, give them to them to wear.
That's pretty
That's
good.
good.
idea.
That's
Yeah,
good.
there you go.
So that case, bring it to the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's Sarah's gift.
This is amazing.
I think she might like it.
Thank you so much.
It can't. Oh gosh.
This I can't wait to see.
This is good. It's you know, it's nice. It's something.
Is it-
she might-
It
Is
feels
this-
like fabric.
Is this something legal in the States, Tom?
Yeah. It's not bad.
Wait a minute, it's a shirt. I think it's a shirt.
What did I get?
Oh, wow.
it's a-
Yeah.
Now we can match. That
That's
thing would
good.
look fantastic on you. I think we should start a put it on chant. Put it on. Put it on.
And that is the end of the show. Thank you all
Hold it up, I want to
so
see how big
much.
it is.
That's
All right,
great.
that'll fit you perfectly.
You
That's
know,
the one that's going to go to Kristen and her mom too. I got 150.
If
of them.
you want to, Sarah, I
Yeah.
think you could sell that on eBay in China for a lot of money.
Yes, absolutely. That's good. You can work out in that. You can vacuum around the house. You know,
is the
and
best. This is like
maybe
vintage
wear like
frock.
cool
Thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you
This
for
is
our
like vintage,
gifts.
man.
Yeah, you know. I mean,
and
I'm a nice guy.
Thank all of you guys for listening, as usual, for
Yeah.
corresponding with us. Continue to rate and
HBO
subscribe.
video.
Yeah, we had a
and
fantastic
like us on
year.
Facebook and tweet at us. We all have Twitters now.
Yeah, we had a fantastic year. Thanks everybody for watching.
JT is so happy. You can share your Twitter if you'd like.
At Ken Knapsack or at Force Center Pod for all my Star Wars stuff over there.
Yeah.
And of course, everything we're doing over at Screen Junkies. And sign up for Screen Junkies
Yes.
Plus, of which
Please.
I am a supervising producer of that fine thing, along with this guy as my technical director and engineer.
and everyone, Roxy Stryer's over there as well.
Absolutely. At Bob Finstock. I'll be in New York, New Jersey, tri-state area from the 18th to the 30th. If anybody wants to buy me a drink, hit me up. We'll
Awesome.
figure it out. If you're a chick, we'll hang out. If you're a
Yeah.
dude, we'll go to a
Ignore
strip
him.
club, whatever. All right.
Do you have a mute button? JT.
Ash Schmoes JTE. I'm heading to Wisconsin for holidays because that's where all my family's going to be at.
From the
It's
Green
going to
Bay
be
game?
really freaking cold. I'll probably be seeing Star Wars a bunch of times just to stay warm.
Go to a Packer game.
I know
I
I
will
should.
be seeing Star Wars and snowboarding,
Yeah.
and that's about it over the holidays. So, when we get back, we'll have more numbers for you.
gonna
Thank
be
you
all-
again.
Yeah, everybody enjoy the holidays, because I know I will.
Go see Star Wars.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the Schmoes Know, this is Box Office Breakdown. Information and commentary on weekly movie box office. From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.